On this point, it's helpful to contrast individualism with personalism. I can best illustrate this with a conversation I had years ago with a mentor. Right? I was arguing that Christianity is inherently individualist. Right? Mainly, things like it believes in a last judgment where individuals will be judged by God, etc. It makes salvation something that might happen to one person and not people in their family. Right? And it certainly, to the extent that it has a political tradition, does not believe in swallowing up the individual in collective terms. Okay, so it doesn't allow the individual to just be seen as a means to the furtherance of the goals of the state, the community, etc. And the person listened to what I had to say, and he said, no, you're confusing individualism with personalism. Right? Individualism means seeing the individual conceived as independent of his social relations as central. Right? So in a sense, it's seeing the rights of the individual as being essentially about what he thinks, feels, believes, prefers, etc., rather than seeing his connections to other people as inherently part of who he is. So Christianity, I think Christians have varied on this, and I think that I would tend to say there's possibly some legitimate variation there. Right? But there's more of a tendency to historically to recognize that people don't come into the world and form themselves. Right? We're shaped by our relationships to our family, biological or adopted, to our community, our culture, etc., are a fundamental part of who we are. Right? And so the idea that a person that somehow fulfillment or rights or anything else could be understood totally in terms of the totally autonomous individual, right, is at least very controversial. Right? So a person could be personalist without being individualist. And liberalism has a strong tendency towards individualism.